Good afternoon. I'll call to order the December 2018 meeting for the New Ulm Public Utilities Commission. First item on the agenda is to consider the minutes from 3 meetings, 2 special meetings, and our regular meeting from November.
Move to approve the minutes of the special meeting held November 26th, 2018, the regular meeting held November 27th, 2018, and the special meeting held December 21st, 2018.
I'll second.
Any discussion on the motion? On the motion and second to approve the meetings, the minutes of the last 3 meetings, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item is to receive our Utilities Director report.
Just one item this evening. I'd like to report extraordinary results in terms of safety. 0 near misses, 0 incidents, 0 reportables, and 0 recordables for the last period.
It's a good number.
Yes, it is.
I'll make the motion to receive and order file the report regarding monthly utility operations.
Second.
Any discussion on the motion or questions of our director? All in favor of receiving and ordering filed the monthly utility operations report indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next is to recognize our Employee of the Month. You want to say a few words?
I do. Ken Sutherland is not with us. He's pending retirement at the end of the year. He's provided extraordinary service for over 35 years, developed expertise, learned on the job, applied it on the job, and is sorely missed, even though he's only been on vacation since the 20th. He's a critical resource for us. In other environments, he would be considered a drum resource, which essentially means that we're going to have a great deal of difficulty dealing without him. We have a strategy in place. We're working on that and have several meetings set up. He's deeply appreciated, and he single-handedly reminded me that he thought it would be a good idea for us to build a loop around the south end of the town. Really appreciate his feedback. Terrific employee. Sorry that he's leaving, but to celebrate his time with us, really appreciate that very much. He may see this video, and in that case, I know he's not here. I'd still like to give him a round of applause.
Okay, thank you.
I'll offer the motion to recognize Ken Sutherland, Electric Systems Technician in the Electric Distribution Department as Employee of the Month.
I'll second.
Any discussion on the motion? All in favor of recognizing Ken Sutherland as Employee of the Month indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Next on the agenda is to consider or to receive notice of the mileage reimbursement rate for 2019. Nicole?
This is just something we do annually to bring our regulations in line with the IRS's, and they've set the rate for 2019 at 58 cents, which is
Well,
up from 54.5 cents
Yep.
from last year. So
I will move to receive notice that the city PUC's mileage reimbursement rate is increasing to 58 cents per mile effective January 1st, 2019, concurrent with the mileage rate set by the United States Internal Revenue Service.
I'll second.
Any discussion? On the motion to receive notice of the 2019 mileage reimbursement rate, which would be 58 cents per mile. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next is to consider a resolution to adopt the 2019 budget for the PUC. Did you guys have any further comments about the budget? As noted in our materials, the commission's met twice with the staff and received and had plenty of opportunity to discuss the budget.
I'll offer the motion to approve the resolution and waive the reading adopting the 2019 budget for New Ulm Public Utilities.
Second.
Any discussion? We have a motion and second to approve the resolution and waive the reading adopting the 2019 budget for New Ulm Public Utilities. Do you call the roll?
Commissioner Fingling,
Yes.
Commissioner Swan,
Yes.
Commissioner Hillersheim,
Yes.
Commissioner Shaunis,
Yes.
President Heine.
Yes. Resolution passes. Under new business, We have a resolution to, sorry, that was new business. A possible incentive for budget billing. Chris, you going to present that?
Commissioners, as you remember, in January of 2018, our customers experienced some high natural gas prices, and that was due to a constraint that was on the Northern Natural Pipeline. It was out of our control, but of course that increased the price that ultimately went to our customers. What we did after that was met with the idea of developing a rate stabilization fund. And the purpose of that fund would be to, in essence, buy down the gas price and then spread the differential over a longer period of time. So maybe it would go over a year, over 6 months. In talking about that and trying to develop the guidelines for that program, we found that there was some inconsistencies that would happen between both the classes of customers and when their usage was, and it wasn't going to work out as cleanly as we had hoped that it would. So we looked into the programs that we currently have, and one of the programs we have right now is the budget billing program, and that's available to our customers. Basically, what the program does is it estimates out what a customer's bill is going to be for the next year, and it divides it out by 11 months, so that 12th month is kind of your buffer. And what it ends up doing is it gives you a steady bill every month. So in your shoulder months, which would be like your March, Aprils, or your September, Octobers, you may be paying a little bit more than what your bill is. But then in the other months, which would be like your winter and your summer months, where your usage is higher, the credit that you build up in those shoulder months will go to apply to the months where your bills are a little higher. And so basically what it does is it shelters you from any spikes that you might see on a really cold January day, or if the natural gas prices increase significantly. And so we decided that program probably would be better to utilize, try to get people to utilize that more. And the other thing is, the program also would apply to the entire utility bill, not just the gas portion. So it would be, water, it would be electric, as well as gas. So currently, right now, for your information, what we've done is we're developing a marketing plan, and the marketing plan basically is going to be a marketing card that's going to be sent out as a direct mailer to our customers. We're updating the enrollment form to look more like this marketing card. And what we're bringing to you today is we would like to offer a $20 incentive to anybody that signs up for the budget billing program. And that incentive would be in the form of a credit on their bill after they sign up. And we have some funds available. The funds are available in ACH account, and we feel that this might be better spent for budget billing marketing. So that's what we're here today to ask. If you have any questions.
So AMPI is an industrial customer. If we were to sign up for this, then if gas prices had an incident with a pipeline and they went up 70%, I'm shielded from that 70%. So, but somebody's eating that increase.
You would pay it in your 12th
The
month,
next,
but I don't know that we open this up to industrial either.
Right.
It's just commercial and residential.
Oh, that's just electric.
Yeah. It would be commercial and residential. In looking at it, it's difficult to do it for industrial customers.
So it'll just be residential?
Yeah, residential and small commercial. What we've heard from industrial customers is they want to know what their bill is at the time. But some, I'm sure there's other industrial customers maybe that, have a different thought process. But in going through this, we felt that it would benefit the residential and small commercial. The industrial were the difficulty with the rate stabilization as well, because depending on when their usage is, you could have customers that are paying for that when in effect, they weren't affected by it as much in the winter. For example, if you have summer gas loads, they would end up paying more than what their share would be. So that was kind of why the rate stabilization wasn't as attractive as we thought.
So then the net will be, because there's a lot of houses in town, so the net will be the revenue that's obtained from the residential customers and small commercial will still, over a period of months, pay for the utilities cost of acquiring that gas and bringing it,
Just what's related to their own account.
right?
Yes.
So to be very clear about this, this takes an individual's account, divides it by 11 based on their past expenditures.
Yeah.
We're not adding any financing to that, but it's their billing that gets flattened out over 11 months, and then the 12th month is used as the adjuster, if it should be over that average or under that average.
So in a good year, in that 12th month, you would have a credit built up and you wouldn't have to pay anything in that 12th month.
Yeah.
In a bad year, you would have that 12th month to make up for those spikes that occurred in the first 11 months of the year.
Typically the program opens up in April.
April.
I think it comes on their May bill. And so those months typically are lower. So, for example, you might have a $150 bill in May, but your budget billing might be set up at $200. So what that does is it takes that $50 and it puts it in
A credit on
their
your
a
account.
credit on their account.
Yeah.
And so, the next month you might it might be the same scenario, so another $50. But then you get into your air conditioning months where let's say the middle of August, your bill is going to be $300. Your budget billing is $200. You're going to use $100 of that reserve that you've built up to pay that bill. One of the other things that we thought of also changing is right now, currently, people have to sign up at the beginning of the
You can only do it
program.
that one time a year.
Right, so we're looking at opening that up, where people could sign up whenever they wanted to, as long as it was financially feasible for them. So, or prudent, I guess, is a better word. So, for example, you wouldn't want somebody signing up in December, because you don't have enough months worth to build up a credit. So in that particular case, we'd advise them just to wait until the beginning of when the program goes. But, certainly someone could sign up in July and still experience
And the
the benefits.
calculations on this whole system from a staff perspective, our computer business softwares
Can
handles
do
this
it.
for us?
Yep.
How many people do we currently have on budget billing? Like what percentage of the residential?
It's not as many as we'd like.
No, it's like 18 to 20%, I think.
Yeah.
And you say it's not as many as we like, why would we like it? Is it good from an accounting standpoint, or you're just saying it's
Well, I
beneficial?
don't know that it's good from an accounting standpoint, but it's good from a customer service standpoint. It's difficult to explain to customers when you have a January bill that increases like that. They typically understand this. It's easy to show, your bill is going to go like this, when, maybe your neighbor that doesn't have it, bill is going like this. If you like that, even bill, this definitely is a program.
Help
For
them
you.
cash flow their expenses.
Yeah, we don't have any trouble with cash flow. Because, we're pulling in more money in the springtime. So that money's sitting there, and then in the
From
summer.
a customer's perspective, they can budget their own expenses.
Absolutely, yeah, from a customer, and from our standpoint, it works fine as well. Yeah.
And there are, you can't get in and out of it, right? We can't have customers sign up for 2 months and then say, it's June now, so, or it's April now, so.
Right, they're signing up for a year.
A year,
Mhm.
right.
Yeah, if they don't like it after a year, they certainly can get out of it, but typically they're signing up for a year.
When you get your statement, does it show what your credits and debits are?
It does. It will, when you look on the bill, you can see what the actual bill is, and then you can also see what your reserve is, how much you've got in reserve. So you can monitor that as well, how much money is is there. And if you get to the end and you have a large amount of money, many times people roll that over. They may not pay a bill for May or June or, you know, or a partial bill for June. Mm-hmm.
I'll offer the motion approving an incentive to customers signing up for the budget billing program in the form of a credit on their utility bill effective February 2019.
I'll second.
Any more discussion on the motion? All in favor of approving the incentive credit indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And the motion carries. Next, we have Derek Nelson presenting regarding the Bovitz Memorial Scholarship.
Good evening, President Heine and Commissioners. Once again, MMUA is offering a scholarship through their scholarship program, which was created as a public relations tool to increase the awareness of public power. The program provides high school seniors the opportunity to earn a scholarship by writing a short essay on the benefits of public power. Annually, 4 scholarships are awarded. Through this essay, through MMUA, they have a $2,000 first place scholarship, a $1,500 second, $1,000 third, and a $500 fourth place scholarship for the seniors. Since 2016, New Ulm Public Utilities has awarded $500 to a student for a local essay submission. The deadline for essays to be submitted to the New Ulm Public Utilities is April 2nd, 2019. The Utilities Director and myself will review the submitted entries, select one local winner, and then pass those on to MMUA for the contest, statewide contest, which has a deadline of April 16th of 2019. So I'm asking your permission to award a local senior $500.
If I recall correctly, did we get to see those last year, or we saw the winner?
We've seen the winners.
winner.
And then did we
See the
just do an
winner.
accommodation or something like that? I thought you were involved, no? It's always been the director and the, okay.
Right.
As far
Yeah,
as I
don't-
know, it's only been the director. And
Okay.
I mean, if the commission would like to see
No,
all
that's
of
fine.
them.
I just want to see the end, the winner. Okay. I'll offer the motion to receive notice from the Minnesota Municipal Utilities Association regarding the Tom Bovitz Memorial Scholarship Award Program and approve a local award for $500 in addition to the MMUA scholarships.
Second.
Any more discussion on the motion? All in favor of receiving notice of the scholarship and approving a local $500 scholarship indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Yep, thank you.
Next, we need to consider quotes for demolition of the power plant's ash silo.
Commissioners, it's come to our attention, the bricks are falling off the parapet on top. They've been falling for a few years. It's getting to be a safety hazard, so we've been looking at, we've got the gas house right next to it, 80-pound high-pressure gas line, the building next to it, and the sidewalk in front of it. So we went out and got quotes for demolishing it. It was built in 1964. We haven't burned any coal since 1997, so it's really not a real asset anymore, other than the structure being there. So
Okay.
I think you got all the quotes. It was $30,750 from Blue Earth Environmental and $107,000 from Mathwitz Construction.
Yeah, what are they gonna do for $107,000? That,
I don't know. It's going to be gone. That's all I know if they do it.
Well, I'll move to accept the quote from Blue Earth Environmental Company for the demolition of the power plant's ash silo in the total amount of $37,500.
I'll second.
any discussion on the motion? All in favor of accepting the quote from Blue Earth Environmental Company to demolish the power plant's ash silo for $37,500, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Next item is to consider hiring a consultant. Rod's gonna present on that.
Yes, thank you. With Mr. Sutherland's departure, we have a serious gap in our ability to respond to substations, controls issues, and other items. We're very interested in retaining a consultant for both the engineering aspects and the operation aspects. There isn't anything specific in this proposal other than advice that we're looking to fulfill these roles that are critical in nature. My interest really is to get somebody on board that we can use on a contract basis in the short term, once we have proposals, and we're expecting some shortly. And then in the longer term, look for a strategy to fill the position.
Personnel been, have you guys talked about it, I assume?
Yeah, I mean, we did have a plan, and that plan, we did have a person in training, correct?
We did, and he decided that the job was not as interesting as he had hoped and separated employment. So,
Right. So this is not a surprise to us, no. So,
So this person, so I'm trying to understand, this will be a, you know, I think of it as you go to Doherty Staffing Solutions, and you say, I want a electrical systems technician, and they give you one at a large cost, and you have that person there until either you hire them or you find someone else to fill the job.
it's more likely a consulting firm that we reach out to provide expertise in terms of engineering, relay settings, et cetera, and a second person that's actually a technician, also from a consulting firm, on call until we find a suitable candidate or two to fill the position. So the strategy right now is to
So
use a
they're
consulting
not, they
firm.
wouldn't be employed by us full-time, they'll be employed by us on a as-needed basis. Tree falls into a transformer, we call him up, and hopefully he's not on Leech Lake someplace or something.
That's right.
Okay.
That's the concept.
all right, I'll offer the motion authorizing staff to contract a consultant to perform duties of the electrical system technician until the vacant position is filled.
Second.
Any discussion on the motion? All in favor of authorizing staff to contract a consultant to perform the electric systems technician position until that position is filled, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next is consider attendance at the APPA National Conference.
This is the American Public Power Association Conference in Austin, Texas. The general idea is to look for best practices and things that we can bring back and put to work in our utility.
I'll offer the motion authorizing attendance at the 2019 American Public Power Association National Conference to be held June 10th through the 12th, 2019 in Austin, Texas.
I'll second.
Any discussion on that motion? All in favor of authorizing attendance at the 2019 APPA National Conference, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Is that something we have to approve specifically then again when you identify who's
Yes.
doing anything, any out-of-state traffic?
That's
or
right.
Traffic travel, I think. Okay,
Yes.
so we'll hear back from you later.
You will.
Next is to consider recommendation regarding a generator requested to be placed at Niels Park. You again.
Yes. And also, Mr. Schmitz is here from the Parks and Rec Department. So the fundamental concept is we have antenna arrays on the water tank. One of the providers has suggested that they be allowed to place an emergency generator at the site. And we're suggesting that there is both adequate power and adequate reliability to not install a generator in the park at the site. Tom, anything further to add?
President Heine and Commissioners, Director Marshall. Yes, I'm in full agreement. The Park and Recreation Commission back on December 10th recommended denial of this request. As you recall, back in the days of Herman Heights water infrastructure, we had a bit of a shantytown arrangement up there with auxiliary buildings around the water tower and the water system, and occupying green space in the park and so on. And so we're in agreement that It's a critical infrastructure, and if electric power goes out, we'd be on it ASAP. And we are recommending not having any auxiliary buildings or facilities in the park around the water tower.
So, here, I have a question about that. Isn't this to mitigate a catastrophic event that takes place within the town? And the lesson learned here is from those folks who have suffered through the hurricanes, where there's no cell service for a long, long time because all the wires are down. And so are we saying as a town that we see the risk of a significant storm event as not being that large? So we don't really need to worry about it? I mean, we live and die with these cell phones these days. So I'm just, is that the balance, is that what the balance is?
So I'd be more than happy to respond to that. So the electrical service that provides electric energy to the antennas on the water tower also provide energy to the water tower. So the general idea is that it pressurizes our system. It's something we consider to be part of the critical infrastructure of the town to be able to provide continuity of water service, and would be high on the list for restoration. Now, in terms of a tornado hitting some of the infrastructure, let's say on the transmission system, and taking the town out, depending upon where it hits, we have a contingency plan for that. We also have a great deal of underground infrastructure in this area, and we think that it leverages some of the risk that they're thinking is going to occur. We're also concerned about the presence of hydrocarbons at the base of this water tower and in the park system as well. So, does that answer your question?
The what of hydrocarbons?
The hydrocarbons associated with the water tower.
A tank
So
of
it's the-
diesel fuel?
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Okay. You know, I mean, I have I mean, I agree, we haven't had a tornado since 1880. So maybe we're due or maybe we're not due. But if a mile-wide tornado comes through town, you know, hopefully we'll get some help from the outside to help put things back together quickly. But just know, probably the cell phones aren't gonna be working. So,
Can I speak to that?
sure.
We had 20% of the trees went down in 1988. Herman Heights Tower went down. The power was back on to Herman Heights Tower in less than 11 hours. 'Cause that was a critical infrastructure.
Okay.
So your question was, are we banking on the fact that if something bad happens, is it gonna take us too long to
I mean,
get
I
the
just
cell,
know,
the
you know,
power back on?
this-
And I
this
think he
whole
said,
business of cell phones is.
right.
You know, it's, even the phone in my house that used to be the connect to the landline is actually a cell phone. The TVs that communicate into people's homes and their computers, you know, they're coming out with this 5G business. You know, it basically eliminates the need for a lot of wires in your house. So just, I mean, looking at the future, I'd sure want to make sure that tower is going to become more and more critical as every day that rolls by. So.
But do I understand your answer to be, yes, we do think that we have enough alternative opportunities to get the power back on to address that question as
The one
reasonably?
time you need the phone to work is after the storm came through. That's when the phones have to work. So-
And the cell phones have batteries inside the water tower currently. Their equipment has battery backup now,
How long does that last?
up to 4 hours.
That's
maybe
pretty
more.
good.
We don't know, they won't tell us.
Uh,
They also won't tell us if they've had any outages. We ask them to document any outages they've had since they've been up there.
yeah.
They haven't documented.
So this is one of 3 providers in town.
Yeah.
There are 2 different providers on this particular water tower, and at the airport, there's another provider.
Verizon.
Well, I'd have made them share. I would have told them you each can't have that, but, you know, I guess I'm certainly willing to support the city council's position, but just as long as it's a eyes wide open thing, if something bad happens, just know that the critical things that we depend on that wireless stuff for is not gonna be there.
We considered water to be a critical resource as well, and we want to keep the system pressurized. And we will do our level best to make sure that that system is intact as well.
All right. I'll offer the motion to recommend to the city council denial of T-Mobile's request to place a generator in Nails Park.
I'll second.
Is there any discussion on the motion? All in favor of recommending to the city council denial of T-Mobile's request to place a generator in Nails Park indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
The next item is to consider the purchase and installation of an exhaust hood for the gas department's welding booth.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is part of the major project that you just approved in the budget for building improvements. We're going to be remodeling our welding shop area, taking the plywood out of that area. Right now, there's just a barn fan in there that basically exhausts the whole building, where we're going to be building some ductwork over to our welding bench to direct that exhaust in the right direction. I will move to authorize the purchase and installation of an exhaust hood for the gas department's welding booth from Gog Sheet Metal, Inc. in the amount of $6,198.75.
I'll second.
Any discussion of the motion? All in favor of the motion to authorize purchase and installation of the exhaust hood indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Are there any abstentions?
Yes.
Hearing an abstention, we need to call the roll.
Commissioner Finklin,
Yes.
Commissioner Swan,
Yes.
Commissioner Hillesheim,
Yes.
Commissioner Shaunis,
Abstain.
President Heine.
Yes. Motion carries. The next item is to, also from the gas department, consider surplus property.
Yes, these two vehicles were replaced last year, and now they will be placed on Gov Deals and auctioned off with your permission.
I'll offer the motion declaring gas department vehicles and equipment as surplus property and authorizing disposition pursuant to the requirements of the city code and charter.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I have something. So we have a 1-ton pickup truck that's from 1994, and it only has 10,000 miles on it. Do we really need it? That was our welding truck flatbed, and generally, we didn't use that truck. We used the welders that are on a trailer. And now that we've gotten a new welding truck, and it's got the extended cab, and yes, we do need it because we need to get out. All of our service work on our mains is done out in the field. And we're doing more outside of our city. We're taking that truck up via itself rather than pulling it behind a trailer. It does make sense with the work we do. We have 2 welding crews that go out. We have service work and main work. So if one crew has one welder, we always needed that other welder. It wasn't the nicest to use, so it didn't get used a lot.
Any more discussion on the motion? On the motion to declare gas department vehicles and equipment as surplus property and authorize disposition pursuant to the city code and charter, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And that motion carries.
Thank you.
Next, we are being asked to consider installation and commissioning new relays.
Mr. Persick.
Good afternoon. This is a continuation of the action item we had last month where we did the engineering and design and purchase of these relays. We were going to have Ken Sutherland and his replacement install them, but obviously due to staffing changes, we have to go on a different route. So we have went out and gotten 2 different quotes on potential installation crews. And we were recommending going with the LNS quote, which was significantly cheaper. Any questions I can answer?
I'll offer the motion authorizing the city manager to accept and sign the proposal for the installation and commissioning of new relays on feeders 232T and 332T2 from LNS Electric Incorporated at an estimated cost of $15,483.
Second.
Any discussion on that motion? All in favor of the motion authorizing the city manager to accept and sign the proposal for installation and commissioning of the 2 new relays from LNS Electric Incorporated, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Before we move out of new business, we have an addendum that's been offered and a suggestion that we suspend the rules on addendums and consider an additional item of business. Oh, I was going to do that after we do new business, yep.
Okay, commissioners, it's gonna be a carryover item from this year.
I think we,
In a second, yeah.
yeah. So,
So I'll make a motion to suspend.
okay.
I'll
Yep.
second.
All in favor of suspending the rules on action for addendums and proceeding with business that was just presented to the commission today, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries.
Okay.
Go ahead.
This is a carryover item from last year that we didn't get it completed. We got our bids for a quote. We had budgeted $34,000 to replace a pickup truck. It's a 1995 Ford pickup truck. It's getting pretty rusty. And we got our bids from Chuck Spaeth Ford, Mayday Motors, and the state bid, which was Midway Motors, and Chuck Spaeth came in low at a cost of $30,412.68.
Is everybody tired of making motions?
I'll offer the motion awarding the bid of $30,412.68 from Chuck Spaeth Ford for a 2019 Ford F-150 pickup for the electric production department.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor of the motion to award the bid for the new 2019 Ford F-150 pickup for the electric production department to Chuck Spaeth Ford, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And now we move on to our list of claims paid and to be paid.
I'll make the motion to accept the list of claims paid in the amount of $3,507,273.79 and approve the list of claims to be paid in the amount of $477,046.80.
I'll second.
Any discussion on that motion? On the motion and second to accept the list of claims paid and approve the list of claims to be paid in the amounts stated on our issue sheet, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. And unless any of the commissioners have any other comments, we are adjourned. Thank you.